certainly icing on the cake is what has happened to the publishing industry in the last 10 years. This digital revolution, which is the icing on the cake.
I mean, I'm going to keep it really general because I'm sure people will talk about it more in detail. But basically what we are saying is that for the first time, speed, quantum and reach are things which, and complexity, I think those are the four things. The speed with which you can access information, the quantum of that, it's infinite now. And the reach, I mean, there's no problem anywhere globally. Publishers, they had this big issue about reaching out globally, that's not there. But it's also very complex, and that means all these things actually have meant that there are certain factors, certain segments which haven't kept pace. So that while all this is moving at one, the speed at which, say, institutions understand or have knowledge about or can respond to this has been much slower. The way publishers themselves, we ourselves have been have a tough time keeping up with, and I'll come to that in a minute, how things have changed as we understand more. And the most obvious thing is, of course, the laws haven't, rules and regulations don't keep up with that speed.
But the real funding for the industry, the profit for the industry, is also the turnover for the industry, including the giants who are sitting there. It all has come from STM. So STM has to be taken very, very, very seriously.
No one talks any longer in the US about the digital revolution. It's like an event that's already happened. Because the transition, that part of the conversation, which is about the transition from print to digital, that conversation has happened, and it's largely complete in people's minds. The battles being fought within STM in these countries, I think, are battles such as open access. We're clearly at the beginning of a new revolution as it relates to the funding of scholarly content.
Just in general trends, I think Elsevier, as the largest STM publisher in the world, does get more of its revenues from journals than books. Even in India, we sell more online than we sell in print in the ST part. In the M part, print is still larger. Print journals actually are still larger than electronic. So the role of India actually, interestingly, will become more important over the next 10 to 20 years, because India should be able to cater to the growth of the emerging world better than, I would say, the Western publishers, especially because books are probably not growing as well as the journals businesses worldwide.
India is lacking in terms of online content, or I would say that digital revolution. The models are going to change very soon, and they will evolve into new shape and factors.
We will all evolve during the next few years. Something, an education process which has to start from the school, that
yes.
you should not be using pirated editions, you should not be downloading songs from various places, you should be buying them. So I guess a lot more to carry from these kind of discussions. As Mr. Dr. Rajshekharan rightly pointed out, a few hours are not enough to be able to take this forward the whole day. But unfortunately, we have time limitation, and we just have 15 minutes left. We also would request the audience to come forward and ask for any questions with any of these speakers, and clarify your doubts on the topics that we have discussed today, right from digital revolution in STM, open access, newer pricing in digital environment, newer content, which Dr. Rajshekharan spoke, piracy in digital world, and also copyright awareness and issues.